Hey guys, I am back with my 29-week update. Today makes 29 weeks. I am so excited. I am so ready to see this gorgeous little baby. I have a lot to update you guys on. Let's start off with something fun. I got a comment on my last video. I'm gonna try to pull it up here. I thought it was pretty funny, so I figured I would kind of start off with this and just see what your guys' thoughts were. I am getting really winded, so just bear with me. Caroline Mamoe, I hope I'm saying that right. She asked the question. She said, "Hi, I have kind of a TMI question and was wondering if you could answer in your next video." I said, "Of course, just let me know what you have in mind." She was asking if there was an increase in gas, if that was something that I had been experiencing in my pregnancy. And she said, "Yes, I'm talking about farting here." I thought it was hilarious when I saw that comment come through, and I would be more than happy to talk about it. For the first couple weeks there, when I found out I was pregnant, I did get a lot of gas. It's so funny to just say it that way. Like, I've gotten a lot of gas, it's farting. Everybody does it. It happens. It's something that happens to you when you're pregnant. Apparently, more than other times, just because apparently there's so much pressure going on in your body that it just causes more gas. So, I did experience it quite a bit when I first got pregnant. It was something that it happened all the time. I never have farted in front of my husband, so um, it's just it happened to me when I was sleeping and he was awake, and he was cracking up laughing and just was like, "I can't believe I heard you fart." And so it's just so funny, just those little experiences that you have. Here recently, now that the baby's gotten a lot bigger, I'm at 29 weeks now, so I've experienced it a little bit more. I did mention in my last video that I started taking that Fiber One cereal, and I also was taking some supplements to help with constipation. So that has increased the gas that comes out. It was so funny to just see that comment, and I was like, I have to talk about it because it's so funny. Someone's asking me to talk about it. I will definitely talk about it. There's a lot of stuff that happens to you when you're pregnant that a lot of people don't tell you, and that is one of them. So, for all the ladies out there that are pregnant, experiencing extra gas, there you go. Other than that, I do have a lot of updates. So I went and took my glucose test last week. I passed. They weighed me, and I had gained since my last appointment, which was on, let's see, let me see if I can find the dates here for you guys. So March 8th, I weighed in. And then April 6th, I weighed in again, and I was only 6 pounds different. So, yay for that. I did mention a while back ago that I had gained 10 pounds in 4 weeks, which was really scary for me. And I was really nervous about not passing the glucose test just because I have gained quite a bit. Totaling right now from the first time I went into this last week that I got weighed, she told me from the first time that I went in exactly what I was at, and this time she said I'm at 31 pounds all total right now, as of right now. They say the last 4 weeks is when you gain the most, so I'm hoping that I kind of can stay pretty stable with it all. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep updating with you guys with that. I did go to my appointment. So we went to my appointment on Thursday of last week. I did the glucose test. I went in. It just so happened that my pap fell into my 1 year that day, or actually it was like 4 weeks before that, but they forgot to give me my PAP from the time that I had gone before. Um, so she was like, you know what, we'll just do your PAP now, take care of it. So they did do that, and they also gave me my Tdap shot. So I got that on my last appointment and did all of this other stuff. So I passed that. Earlier that morning, I did have a scare. Baby has been moving a lot. He's been just very active. In the morning, he's very active. Right before I get out of bed, he's already going. When I get out of bed and when I'm eating, after I have lunch, he is very active. Right before I go to lunch and after lunch, he's very active. So the day that I was going to my appointment, I got really nervous because the night before I hadn't really felt him too much when I was at home. I usually feel him when I'm laying down on the couch and I'm watching TV. I can feel him and he's there, active, moving around. I hadn't felt him that much that night, so I was starting to get a little nervous. The next morning, I woke up and I hadn't felt him at all. So I kind of pushed around, because usually when we push around or when we're moving him around or, whatever, they're doing ultrasound, he pushes back. So he wasn't pushing back, and I hadn't really felt him too much, and I was just getting super nervous. So that morning, I went into work late just because I was trying to do everything I could to kind of get him to move, just to kind of reassure myself, and he wasn't moving. So I had breakfast. I sat on the couch the way I normally do, that he kind of makes a move and everything like that. No movement. It was just kind of, I would feel like a slight flick, but it's never been like that. He's always been very active to where he's like punching me all the time. So I called my doctor that morning and I talked to the nurse and I told her, I'm really nervous. I don't know what to do. Do you want me to come in? Should I go to the ER? What should I do? This isn't typical. So she told me that she wanted me to go into a quiet room. I was at work, so I was at my desk, which I'm in a cubicle by myself, so it was kind of easy to do. But she wanted me to just be in a quiet area, just monitoring how many kicks I got from him. And she said 10 kicks for 2 hours. As long as you get 10 kicks, whether it's a flick, whether it's a slight movement, whether it's a punch, whether anything like that, she wanted me to monitor it, and as long as it was 10 kicks with 2 hours, I was okay. So I had been feeling that. I mean, there were tiny little flicks, which again isn't normal for him, because he's usually just like pushing up against my stomach and doing somersaults, and just he's very, very active. So it really scared me. So we ended up going to the doctor later on in the day. This was, I go to work at 7 and I had my doctor's appointment at 4. So it was a long time to wait just to go to the doctor. And, we went in, she checked him out just by touching my stomach. And then I had mentioned to her I had called the nurse and I had talked to her about everything. And they're like, you know what, let's put you on the monitor just to make sure he's okay and whatnot. So at the end of it, we went to the lady that does the monitoring. So usually they put you on this chair and they wrap little things around your stomach and they can monitor the heartbeat and all that stuff. Well, she started doing it. She's like, wait, you're only 28 weeks? And I was like, yeah. So she goes, well, we don't do monitoring until you're over 31. So she ended up doing an ultrasound, which was nice because we were able to actually see him. And he was fine. He started moving around at that point, started kind of pushing back at her when she was pushing on my stomach, trying to find him. And they said his heartbeat was good. They were able to see his lungs like expanding, just like doing the breathing movements and everything. And he was fine. So everything was okay. But they did mention that if once you're in the 3rd trimester, that you should be monitoring his kicks, your baby's kicks, anything, everything, just kind of monitoring it. They did give me a sheet where you monitor you monitor basically morning, lunch, and dinner. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You monitor how many kicks you get for, she said, 1 hour. So as long as you get 10 kicks in an hour, you monitor that. And then you do it for lunch, and then you do it for dinner. So you monitor it, and as long as you're getting the same amount of kicks pretty much every day, you're okay. But if you go from getting like 30 kicks to like 10 kicks, then it should be something that you're kind of watching a little bit more and calling your nurse about, is what she told me. So, just that's something I didn't know before. I was not aware of that. So, for you ladies out there that are going into the third trimester, you'll probably be hearing about that when you go to your doctor's office. But that is something that they told me to start doing when you're now in the third trimester. You want to monitor, make sure that you're still feeling him move around, just making sure everything's okay, because if you go from a baby being so active to then being so not active, it could be an issue. So just check it out, keep an eye out on it. I'm glad everything was okay, because I was just a nervous wreck. I wanted to just cry. But yeah, everything turned out okay, and he's fine. And that's pretty much one of the things that I learned that I wanted to share with you guys, because that's something I hadn't, no one had told me about. So I'm glad everything's okay. We did do our birthing class this weekend. Holy moly. If you haven't done a class and you're gonna do a class, you better be ready, because this is our first baby. So we have no idea what we're doing. We have no idea what we're in for once he comes. And so they were talking about everything. I mean, all of it. What happens when you start going into labor? What happens when you're in labor? What happens when the baby comes out? What happens? I mean, everything. It was so overwhelming, but it was such good information. We went in at 8:30, and there was quite a few couples in there. We were the ones that were the latest out to have the baby. Everybody was kind of like 2 or 3 weeks out from having the baby. I wanted to know as soon as possible, as much information as I possibly could, so I wanted to do it earlier. And so we did, and I'm glad we did. But we learned a lot of stuff. So at the beginning, they did a video of 2 or 3 women going through pregnancy, going to have a baby, and it starts to show different stages, which to me, no idea. I had no idea that there was first stage, early labor. I can't remember all of them. It was first stage, early labor, active labor, and transition. No clue, absolutely no clue that there was different stages for it, and how long those stages take, and what type of contraction you have in those stages. I was blown away. Watching the video, they were mentioning, what do you want to do when they were saying, you're going to want to find out or have a plan together as to how you want your labor to go, which we obviously knew. But she was basically saying, when you go into early labor, do you want to be at home or do you want to be at the hospital? So to me, that was like a 3 to 5 hour or 5 to 8 hour stage, and to me, I'd want to be home because I want to be as comfortable as possible. And then when you go into early labor, your contractions start to change, and then you're dilated to a certain centimeter and all of this stuff. And then when you go into early labor or active labor, you have a different type of contraction, and then you are there for, I think it said 3 to 5 hours. And I mean, everybody's different and everybody has a different experience, but just to even know that there's different stages, different types of contractions, different hours that could happen in between that time. I mean, it was crazy to hear, and it was good to hear, because then you kind of know, like, what's next? Like, what's the next step? What are you going to do next? Like, what's going to happen? Is this contraction in this area? Like, there's different breathing techniques for things. And depending on, what's contraction you're having, you have a different breathing movement for it so that you can relax. And they did go through the breathing movements, relaxation. They said basically you want to be relaxed when you're gonna have the contractions, because that way everything in you just kind of expands. Because if you are tense, then you're really tight, and then it doesn't help with letting the baby out. So it was crazy just to go through that class and learn all this stuff. They taught us, like I said, breathing and just relaxation techniques. They asked, what helps you relax at home. And to me, watching TV, watching YouTube, watching someone else or watching something else happen and not be in my own head is what really helps me. So they said, bring your favorite movie, bring your laptop, whatever is going to help you. If you read books, if you can go on walks, if you do puzzles, if you color, anything like that, bring that with you to the hospital so that you can have something to go to relax. So I took that away as something that I wouldn't have thought of. I mean, I probably would have taken my laptop and, all that stuff, but I guess it just, the way they were saying it's how it goes is not what I was thinking in my head. I guess I'm just kind of thinking in my head, you start getting a contraction and a couple hours later a baby comes out. I never knew there was all these different stages to it and different contractions and all that stuff. So just kind of crazy to go through and hear, and it was awesome. I definitely recommend it if you guys have classes coming up in your area. We will be having a breastfeeding class too. Once you pay for this class, then they give you the breastfeeding class for free. I am planning on breastfeeding, so I am planning on going to that class as well. I'll let you guys know how that goes. But I did go to a chiropractor. I went last week as well, on Monday. Yeah, I went on Monday. I was feeling in my kind of upper middle back just a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure, and it felt like I needed to have it adjusted, or you want it to pop, like have that good pop to where it relieves a lot of whatever is going on back there. But I went to the chiropractor on Monday. I was talking to her. We did this whole analysis that she does and all that stuff. So we did all of that, and then she adjusted me at the end of it, and it was the most amazing thing. It's still scary just because, they're cracking your back and relieving all this air, but it was amazing. I was laying on my back. She then just kind of cracked just that area that I was talking about that really has been feeling just a lot of pressure, and instantly it was just like a sigh of relief. It was just like, whoa, like I can actually like not feel like I have a ton of bricks on my back, because that's kind of what it felt like. It just kind of felt like I had a lot of pressure, and it felt like I had a lot just like really sunken in there, and it was just, I couldn't like move like normal, and it was amazing. She also is going to adjust my upper back on this next appointment that we have, and she was checking, my hips and where they lay, if one's higher than the other. She needs to adjust that. She was saying like certain areas in my back are really tight, so it was nice. I do recommend it. I was talking to my doctor about it. She totally is okay with it. She said she recommends it too, just to get you fully aligned. It helps when you're pushing the baby. So I enjoyed it, and it's been great. My back feels so much better. I can actually like fully sit up all the way and not just have like this weird like tight tension back there. So it's been great. My husband actually goes tomorrow because he's been wanting to get adjusted too. He's never gone. I did go before. I had gotten in a really bad car accident when I was about 17. And I had to go to a chiropractor for quite some time. So I kind of knew how everything went and now all of that stuff. So um, it was amazing. I would recommend it to basically anybody. Um, Outside of that, I got a couple things for the little one, like I said. We got this changing table. It's actually still here in the living room. My friend had it for her last baby, and they just got her a bunch of new stuff. And she's like, "I don't need a changing table anymore. Do you want it?" It's perfectly. It's really nice. It's from Pottery Barn, and these things are usually pretty expensive. So I did end up getting it from her. I gave her some cash for it. And it's really nice. So this will end up going upstairs in the kind of lofty area that we have up there for him for when we're sleeping upstairs because his bedroom is down here right around the corner. And then I just got some like bins from Target just to put stuff in. Just like diapers and ointments and stuff like that. And yeah, it'll just go upstairs. So I really like this, and it was white. I wanted to do a lot of white stuff for him. And then other than that, I got a couple pictures for his room for decoration. So I'll show you what the pictures are like. I have two that are in a frame and then two that are not in a frame right now. I did mention that we were going to be doing a sports theme for him, so I wanted to do it more of a something he can grow with, something that he can keep for a lot of years versus just till he's 3 or 4, you know. I didn't want to do it like cartoonish or like bright colors and stuff like that. I want it to be something that he can keep into like his teen years if that's something that he wants. But I found this, I think it's Saint Peter. I can't remember his name on Etsy, but I'll put him down below. He has a lot of really good pictures. But these are just kind of like the vintage style pictures. So we've got a football, we got a basketball, and then I put these ones in frames that I got from Michaels. So this one is a hockey puck with a stick. My husband's really into hockey, so we were trying to find stuff that had hockey stuff. But like at Hobby Lobby and places like that, they don't really do a lot of hockey stuff. They do more of just like basketball, baseball, football type of stuff. So I was really trying to find something for hockey, and that's how I came across this guy on Etsy. And he's just a photographer, and he has a ton of stuff. You can get these in canvases, but they are a lot more expensive. So this is the last one I got, but this one is a soccer ball. So I did go with a gray theme too. They have a like vintage style one that is more of a tan color, but since his room is gray, navy, and white, I figured that the gray style would go better. So I'm going to be having a work baby shower this week. Today is Tuesday. They're having it for me on Thursday. It's just something that our work does. They just put together a baby shower for us, and then each team just contributes a certain amount for the person, and they run out and just grab something from your registry. So that's really nice. We'll be doing that on Thursday, so I'll see what we get, and then I'll probably do a mini haul for you guys next week. Leave me some more comments. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. Thank you for the person that left me the comment about farting. I hope you had a good laugh from that because I sure did. And I am going to see you guys not next week, but the week after. I'm still going to just do these every 2 weeks since there's not too much that goes on every week. If I do get a ton of stuff, though, from the showers, I'll do a haul next week so you guys can see that, and then I'll do my update the week after. I will be doing the chalkboard. I'll be doing the chalkboard tonight or tomorrow, and I'll have that up on my Instagram. So check out my Instagram and check out the description box below if you're interested in like getting some cute pictures like I got for your baby's room. I'll have the link to the Etsy shop that I got them from down below in the description box. And again, just leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. Please like, share the video. It helps me out a lot, and I would appreciate it a ton. I will talk to you guys next week or the week after. See ya!